Imagine this, a question that has echoed through the ages, pondered by many minds. What if one of the mightiest beings in Middle-earth got hold of the ring? It's a tale that grips the imagination and sets the heart racing. Now picture this, I've poured all my usual video-making mojo into this one. Instead of plotting my travels or delving into timelines, I've dived headfirst into crafting a believable chain of events. So here we are, diving into the depths of possibility. What if Gandalf, the wise and powerful wizard, laid his hands on the One Ring? Our journey kicks off in Bag End, the cozy hobbit hole where our adventure began. Over time, Gandalf's suspicions about Bilbo's ring have grown like creeping shadows in the twilight. When Bilbo finally bids farewell to the Shire, Gandalf wastes no time. He pulls Frodo, Bilbo's young cousin, aside and issues a stern warning. That ring, it's not to be trifled with. Gandalf's intuition prickles with the sense that this trinket may be no ordinary piece of jewelry, but a ring of power with all the weighty implications that entails. Picture this. As Aragorn, the rugged ranger, embarks on his quest to track down the elusive Gollum, Gandalf, the wise wizard, sets his sights on Minas Tirith, the ancient city of kings. There, amidst the dusty tomes and forgotten scrolls, Gandalf unearths a treasure trove of knowledge, the scroll of Isildur, a relic from ages past. With each word deciphered, the pieces of the One Ring's history begin to fall into place like a puzzle, revealing its hidden picture. Leaving Minas Tirith behind, Gandalf's journey leads him back towards the peaceful Shire. But fate has other plans, weaving its threads in unexpected ways. Along the winding path, whispers reach Gandalf's ears, news of Aragorn's triumph, the capture of the wretched Gollum, trickster of shadows. Mirkwood, a realm shrouded in mystery and ancient magic, becomes Gandalf's next destination. Here, amidst the whispering trees and winding rivers, he confronts Gollum, the once hobbit twisted by the ring's malevolent power. The encounter lays bare the insidious influence of the One Ring, its tendrils reaching deep into the soul of the unfortunate creature before him. Gandalf, his heart heavy with the weight of knowledge, now stands certain. The ring in Frodo's possession is none other than the One Ring itself. With a sense of urgency burning in his veins, Gandalf sets forth on the final leg of his journey, racing against time itself. Each passing moment brings him closer to the Shire, to Frodo, and to the inevitable confrontation that looms on the horizon. On April 12, 3018, Gandalf arrives in the tranquil embrace of the Shire, his mind ablaze with the urgency of the task ahead. In the pages of the book, we catch a glimpse of a pivotal moment where Gandalf faces a choice that could change everything. "No!" he cries out, his voice echoing with a mix of fear and resolve. "With that power I would wield a force too immense, too dreadful. The ring would hold sway over me, twisting my very being into something monstrous. I dare not succumb to its allure. I refuse to walk the path that leads to the darkness of the Dark Lord himself." Gandalf's words hang heavy in the air, laden with the weight of his inner turmoil. He knows all too well the seductive whispers of the ring, its promises of strength and dominion. Yet, he also understands the peril that lies in embracing such power. For him, the path to corruption lies not in a lust for domination, but in a heart softened by compassion, by a desire to ease the suffering of others and to wield strength for noble ends. The struggle within Gandalf's soul is laid bare for all to see. He grapples with the conflicting desires raging within him, the longing to mend the world's wounds, to stand as a beacon of hope against the encroaching darkness, and the gnawing temptation to seize the ring and bend its power to his will. In his refusal lies a profound wisdom, a recognition of his own limitations and vulnerabilities. Gandalf understands that the ring's seductive whispers prey upon the very essence of his being, exploiting his compassion and desire to make a difference in the world. To yield to such temptation would be to invite ruin upon himself and all he holds dear. Yet even as Gandalf stands firm in his resolve, his words carry a haunting truth. The ring's path to his heart is paved with pity, with a tender empathy for the frailty of others and a yearning for the strength to uplift and protect them. The very qualities that define Gandalf as a force for good in the world also make him vulnerable to the ring's insidious influence. In Gandalf's struggle, we glimpse the timeless battle between light and darkness, between the noblest aspirations of the heart and the corrupting allure of power. His refusal to yield to temptation serves as a poignant reminder of the courage it takes to resist the siren song of absolute power and the sacrifices that must be made in the name of preserving that which is truly precious. Here's where our tale takes a sharp turn, veering off into uncharted territory. With the truth of Frodo's ring laid bare before him, a fateful decision hangs in the balance. Instead of turning away, Gandalf, moved by his compassion for hobbits and his unwavering desire to do what's right, accepts Frodo's offer of the One Ring. It seems like the most sensible choice, doesn't it? And so, in a moment that alters the course of history, Gandalf takes possession of the ring. With newfound responsibility weighing heavily upon him, he sets his sights on Rivendell, a bastion of strength and wisdom nestled amidst the rugged beauty of the land. It's a journey fraught with peril and uncertainty, but Gandalf is undeterred. He knows that Rivendell offers the best chance of marshalling forces against the encroaching darkness. Departing from the tranquil embrace of the Shire on May 1st, Gandalf sets forth on his quest, his heart heavy with the burden of the ring and the weight of the world's fate resting upon his shoulders. It's a departure tinged with both hope and trepidation, as Gandalf ventures into the unknown, guided by a sense of duty and a determination to see this task through to its end. As Gandalf travels towards Rivendell, each step brings him closer to his destination and to the inevitable confrontation that awaits him. Along the way, he grapples with the enormity of the responsibility he now bears, wrestling with doubts and fears that threaten to consume him. But through it all, he clings to the belief that he can make a difference, that he can wield the power of the ring for the greater good. Arriving in Rivendell, Gandalf is greeted by familiar faces and the reassuring presence of allies united in their struggle against the forces of darkness. Here, amidst the ancient halls and pristine beauty of the Elven Sanctuary, Gandalf finds solace and strength in the company of kindred spirits. It's a respite from the trials and tribulations of the road, a chance to regroup and plan their next move in the unfolding drama that grips the land. But even as Gandalf basks in the warmth of camaraderie, the shadow of the One Ring looms large, a constant reminder of the perilous path they tread. For Gandalf knows that every moment brings them closer to the ultimate showdown, where the fate of Middle-earth will be decided once and for all. And so, with steely determination and unwavering resolve, he prepares himself for the challenges that lie ahead, knowing that the road ahead will be fraught with danger and uncertainty. But for now, in the tranquil haven of Rivendell, Gandalf finds a brief respite from the storm that rages beyond its borders. It's a moment of fleeting peace amidst the chaos of war, a chance to gather strength and steel themselves for the trials that lie ahead. And as the days pass and preparations are made, Gandalf knows that the time will soon come to face their destiny, to confront the darkness that threatens to engulf them all. Let's delve deeper into the pages of the books to unravel the journey Gandalf undertakes from the cozy haven of Hobbiton to the majestic refuge of Rivendell. It's a voyage marked by swiftness, spanning a mere 3 weeks, commencing on September 29th and culminating on October 18th. Within this brief span, Gandalf navigates through the perils of Middle-earth, encountering challenges that test his mettle and resolve. One of the most harrowing episodes along his path unfolds atop Weathertop, where the shadowy figures of the Nazgul, servants of the Dark Lord Sauron, launch a chilling assault. Despite the terror instilled by these spectral foes, Gandalf presses on, his determination unyielding as he steers his course towards Rivendell. To evade the relentless pursuit of the Nazgul, Gandalf takes a strategic detour northward, weaving through rugged terrain and dense forests in a bid to shake off his shadowy pursuers. Now consider the timing of Gandalf's journey in relation to the movements of the Nazgul. These ominous beings only commenced their pursuit on June 20th, emerging from their dark abodes in Minas Morgul and Dol Guldur. With this in mind, Gandalf's passage to Rivendell is likely to be far less fraught with peril than his encounter on Weathertop suggests. It's reasonable to infer that he revisit the sanctuary of Rivendell before the close of May 1318, his arrival heralding a new chapter in the unfolding saga of Middle-earth. As Gandalf traverses the winding roads and rugged landscapes of Middle-earth, he is not alone. Accompanying him on this momentous journey is Aragorn, the steadfast ranger whose unwavering loyalty and keen insight serve as invaluable assets in the face of adversity. Together they forge ahead, their spirits undaunted by the challenges that lie ahead, their bond strengthened by the shared determination to safeguard the future of their world. Yet despite the steadfast companionship of Aragorn, Gandalf's path to Rivendell remains a solitary one in many respects. The other members of the Fellowship, destined to play pivotal roles in the quest to destroy the One Ring, are yet to converge in the sheltering embrace of Rivendell's ancient walls. The hobbits, dear friends to Frodo and crucial allies in the battles to come, are notably absent from Gandalf's side, their homes in the Shire a distant memory as they await their own call to adventure. Similarly, the fates of Legolas, Boromir and Gimli have yet to intertwine with Gandalf's journey. Legolas, the swift-footed elf of the woodland realm, remains ensconced in his realm, far removed from the gathering storm that brews in distant lands. Boromir, the valiant son of Gondor, and Gimli, the stalwart dwarf of Erebor, are likewise occupied with their own affairs, their paths yet to converge with Gandalf's in the haven of Rivendell. As Gandalf presses onward, each step brings him closer to the sanctuary of Rivendell, where destiny awaits and the threads of fate are destined to intertwine. In the tranquil beauty of Rivendell's timeless halls, Gandalf will find solace amidst the company of kindred spirits and allies united in their shared quest to defy the darkness that threatens to engulf their world. And as the days pass and the shadows lengthen, Gandalf knows that the time will soon come to stand against the tide of darkness and forge a path towards a brighter tomorrow. After arriving in Rivendell, Gandalf finds himself amidst a fellowship that stays for about 2 months, so let's say Gandalf rests there for the same length of time. Somewhere between the end of May and the end of July, a crucial gathering takes place. It's a council where key figures convene to discuss their next steps. Among them are Gandalf, Elrond, Glorfindel, Aragorn, and the wise elves of Rivendell. As Gandalf settles into his stay in Rivendell, he remains true to his own counsel, resisting the temptation to wield the ring. His journey thus far has been smooth, without any pressing need to utilize its power or even unveil it from its place of safekeeping, be it in his bag or pocket. However, as the weeks pass and Gandalf remains in possession of the ring, its subtle influence begins to take root within him. Over the course of 2 months, the ring exerts its insidious sway over Gandalf's mind, gradually chipping away at his resolve. Though he initially heeds his own warnings against succumbing to its allure, the ring's whispered promises of power and dominion seep into his thoughts, planting seeds of doubt and temptation. As the time for the council draws near, Gandalf finds himself grappling with an inner turmoil unlike any he has faced before. The ring's subtle influence gnaws at his conscience, clouding his judgment and distorting his perceptions. Despite his best efforts to resist its call, Gandalf feels the weight of its presence bearing down upon him, like a shadow lurking in the depths of his soul. When the moment arrives for the council to convene, Gandalf stands before his fellow members, his heart heavy with the burden of his secret struggle. In a moment of vulnerability, he finds himself compelled to speak, to reveal the truth that has been gnawing at him for weeks. With a heavy heart and a voice tinged with remorse, Gandalf volunteers to take the ring upon himself, his resolve weakened by the insidious influence of the very object he sought to safeguard. Despite Gandalf's unexpected offer, the council remains steadfast in its resolve to destroy the ring, recognizing that this is the only viable course of action. Even as Gandalf's confession casts a shadow over their deliberations, his fellow members stand united in their determination to rid Middle-earth of this ancient evil once and for all. Now faced with a crucial decision, the council must choose their path forward. Would they venture southward towards the treacherous Gap of Rohan, risking confrontation with the forces of darkness that lurk within its shadowed depths, or would they opt for an eastern route traversing the perilous mountains before turning south towards the sanctuary of Lothlorien? In contemplating their options, the Council weighs the risks and rewards of each path, mindful of the perils that await them on their journey. Ultimately, they choose to mirror the course of action taken in the actual tale, electing to travel south towards the Gap of Rohan for a multitude of reasons. As they set forth on their chosen path, Gandalf and his companions brace themselves for the trials and tribulations that lie ahead. Though uncertainty clouds their future and the spectre of the ring's influence looms ever present, they march onward with courage and determination, united in their quest to defy the darkness and forge a new dawn for Middle-earth. Let's delve deeper into the decision-making process of the Council as they ponder their route to Lothlorien. The journey through this path would bring them in close proximity to the shadowy realm of Mirkwood, a place fraught with danger and uncertainty. More troubling still is the presence of Sauron's forces in Dol Guldur, a stronghold teeming with darkness and guarded by the fearsome Nazgul, including Camel, the Easterling. Venturing so near to this bastion of evil would indeed be a perilous gamble, one that could spell disaster for the Fellowship. Another factor weighing heavily on the minds of the wise is their lack of knowledge regarding the treachery of Saruman. In these early stages, they remain blissfully unaware of the White Wizard's descent into darkness and his sinister designs. You may wonder why Gandalf does not immediately seek counsel from Saruman, as depicted in the films. However, in the books, Gandalf's path diverges, leading him on a different journey. Instead of heading straight to Isengard, Gandalf's encounters with Radagast the Brown Wizard while wandering through Eriador prompt him to alter his course. Since Gandalf now bears the burden of the ring, his motivations and priorities shift, eliminating the need to seek out news in the wilderness and thus bypassing any rendezvous with Radagast that may have led him to Isengard. In a twist of fate, it's plausible to imagine Radagast seeking out Gandalf during his stay in Rivendell. Perhaps the Brown Wizard arrives seeking Gandalf's counsel or bearing urgent news from the wilds. In this revised council, Radagast could play a pivotal role, informing Gandalf of Saruman's desire to meet with him, mirroring the events in the book where Radagast serves as the catalyst for Gandalf's journey to Isengard. As the Council convenes to chart their course, they are faced with a critical decision that will shape the fate of their quest. Despite the allure of a direct route through Mirkwood, the risks far outweigh the benefits. The spectre of Sauron's forces and the looming threat of the Nazgul cast a dark shadow over this path, making it a dangerous proposition that could jeopardize their mission before it even begins. In light of these considerations, the Council opts for caution, choosing to follow a safer route south towards the Gap of Rohan. While this path may present its own challenges and obstacles, it offers a better chance of avoiding direct confrontation with Sauron's forces and ensuring the Fellowship's survival. As they embark on this new leg of their journey, Gandalf and his companions steel themselves for the trials ahead. The road ahead may be fraught with danger and uncertainty, but their resolve remains unshaken. With courage in their hearts and hope as their guide, they set forth on their quest, determined to defy the darkness and forge a path towards a brighter future for Middle-earth. As the Fellowship prepares to depart from Rivendell, their hearts are buoyed by the belief that they have a powerful ally awaiting them at Isengard. With hopeful anticipation, they set out on their journey, bidding farewell to the tranquil sanctuary of Rivendell as they venture forth into the unknown. It's early August when they begin their trek, the air alive with the promise of adventure and the weight of destiny pressing upon their shoulders. Gandalf leads a company comprised of seasoned warriors, their resolve tempered by the knowledge that they tread upon treacherous ground. Despite their prowess in battle, they opt for caution, Choosing to evade the prying eyes of Sauron's spies and travel in secrecy, this decision, while prudent, means they may inadvertently miss the chance encounter with Boromir, who at this very moment is embarking on his own quest to find Rivendell. Boromir's journey begins in Minas Tirith, the majestic city of Gondor, on a bright July morning. Mounted upon his trusty steed, he sets forth on a path that will lead him northward through the rugged terrain of Rohan and beyond. Along the way, he encounters both peril and hardship, losing his horse as he forges the Grey Flood and is left to continue his journey on foot. Meanwhile, Gandalf and his companions press onward, their footsteps echoing through the silent wilderness as they navigate the twisting paths and hidden trails that wind through the land. Their journey is fraught with danger, with each step bringing them closer to their destination and the challenges that await them at Isengard. Tilly, Sir Ewan Twain. As they draw nearer to their goal, Gandalf's company remains vigilant, ever mindful of the lurking shadows that threaten to engulf them. They traverse through dense forests and rocky ravines, their senses keenly attuned to the slightest hint of danger that may lie in wait around the next bend. At long last, they arrive at the gates of Isengard, their hearts filled with a mixture of anticipation and apprehension. Before them stands the imposing fortress of Orthanc, its towering spires casting long shadows across the barren landscape. It is here, amidst the ancient stones and crumbling ruins, that they hope to find answers to the questions that have plagued them since the outset of their journey. Inside the fortress, they are greeted by the sight of Saruman, the once wise white wizard, who now stands as a shadow of his former self. His eyes gleam with a strange light as he welcomes them into his domain, his voice honeyed with deceit and manipulation. Gandalf and his companions exchange wary glances, their suspicions growing with each passing moment. They sense that all is not as it seems within the walls of Isengard, and they steel themselves for the revelations that are sure to come. As they engage in conversation with Saruman, they soon discover the extent of his treachery and his allegiance to the dark forces that seek to dominate Middle-earth. His words are laced with malice and deception, his intentions laid bare for all to see. Despite the dangers that surround them, Gandalf and his companions stand firm, their resolve unbroken in the face of adversity. They know that the road ahead will be fraught with peril, but they are determined to see their quest through to its end, no matter the cost. As they depart from Isengard, their hearts heavy with the weight of what they have learned, Gandalf and his companions set their sights on the next leg of their journey. They know that their path will be fraught with danger and uncertainty, but they face the challenges ahead with courage and determination, united in their quest to defy the darkness and bring hope to a world in need.